availability of the natural resources that can be capitalized on by the blue energy sector is quite high. It's more than sufficient. This concerns wind, but also wave energy. Obviously, the degree to which the resource, the wind and the waves, for example, are available varies by location, and the conditions, most importantly the depth, determine whether this can be exploited profitably or not.
I think it was really interesting to see this different project finance and Interreg Mediterranean program that highlighting that there is a potential for ocean energy in the Mediterranean Sea. It's true that ocean energy are yet still immature, but there's a quick pace, innovative pathway.
There are specific barriers and challenges within the Mediterranean area because of a number of factors relevant to the depth of the sea, relevant to the waves, the tides, etc. So there are a lot of issues to be further analyzed before we go deeper. More data sets are needed, identification of hotspots, because you cannot apply the technology everywhere in the Mediterranean.
The main problem in the Mediterranean Sea are the depths, the bottom depths, which are clearly deep waters are very far from the shore, and shallow waters are also very far from the shore because of the continental shelf. So if you want to build a blue energy, to start developing a blue energy farm, you have to be close to the shore, because there you can find the appropriate depths. But being close to the shore is a major problem due to the visual impacts they have, these installations. Coastal area of the Mediterranean are fully touristically developed. There are also very diverse marine uses in the area: aquaculture, fish culture, fishing, things like that, and probably there will be a conflict with all these different uses of the same area.
We cannot, for example, plan an installation in the middle of the sea in a place where many ships or vessels are coming into the port. So we have to consider the traffic in the surrounding area.
There has to be a coordination, and this coordination amongst authorities and amongst investors and businesses we consider to be one of the challenges that the project promotes, an opportunity of bringing all these actors together and plan specifically about the use, about the spatial planning and the use of specific areas according to all these different economic activities for the long-term future of Mediterranean.
It's important to create the security and the confidence of investors and of the various users of the maritime space. The challenges are covered within the framework of the Maritime Spatial Planning Directive. There are synergies to be developed between the blue energy sector and other industries. For example, we already heard that certain ports are keen or are trying to invest and to adapt to service, for example, offshore wind installations, specialized ships that are being produced or need to be produced in order to install offshore wind farms, and perhaps in the future wave and tidal energy plants.
In the framework of the project, we consider that blue energy could play an important role because we have to think in the physical location of ports. We have identified three main pillars regarding indicators: the energy, the operational and environmental. In the energy pillar, we have classified the indicators into two main groups, which are traditional energy supply, which means fossil fuels, and renewable, trying to identify the share of renewable and the share of conventional energy inside the port area. We have to increase capacity buildings of port authorities because generally speaking, they don't have a clear vision about what they can do and the type of advantages they can take from, for example, blue energies. I think the first issue we have to think about the integration of blue energy into ports is the creation of the demand side.
The main connection between blue energy's clusters, it's a topic that we are actually investigating during the lifetime of the project. The project deals with maritime clusters in Mediterranean Sea. We have designed and operate this project taking into account the cluster approach, combining research and academia, policy makers and private and business entities in order to form groupings that will further boost investments, uptake of new technologies and growth of particular sectors in the Mediterranean. Blue energy is actually a cross-cutting issue which can be beneficial for a number of sectors. Maritime renewables are still in an early stage. When it comes to a technology to be exploited or commercialized, as we say, there has to be a series of activities, support activities from a whole range of actors, namely the technology developers, the scientists, the business community, the investors, and of course the policy makers and authorities. What we look for is to bring together all these entities within an integrated framework.